Also in Victoria, the government there was all smiles today, confirming the city's sixth lockdown will end tonight.
Thanks to the extraordinary efforts of all Victorians, when the clock strikes midnight tonight, the lockdown is over. In the coming days and weeks, I hope everyone enjoys those first reunions with their families, the first footy, netball, cricket training with their kids, the first pot and palmer at the pub. Every single Victorian has earned this.
Oh my God, the smiling self-congratulation. He ought to be begging the forgiveness of the Victorian public. Anyway, there'll be no Freedom Day celebrations for the city's residents who have endured 262 days in lockdown, a world record over the past 2 years almost. Melburnians won't yet enjoy the same level of freedoms experienced by Sydney-siders, for instance. Retailers are only able to reopen for outdoor trading, which is completely impractical and unworkable for the majority of businesses. Cafes and restaurants are still restricted to just 20 customers indoors. Good luck turning a profit with those numbers. Meanwhile, a crack team of COVID inspectors will patrol venues, ensuring that customers are fully vaccinated. What a world we live in, hey? Let's bring in Bill Lang, Executive Director of Small Business Australia. Thanks for joining us again, Bill. Good to talk to you. It seems just incongruous, given we've seen how well the relaxation of lockdown has gone in New South Wales, that Victorian businesses wouldn't at least get the same freedoms that we've seen in New South Wales.
Well, thanks, Chris. The businesses in Victoria look over to the border, look to the new Premier, the accelerator, as he's now known amongst all premiers in Australia by small business families. And we just shake our head and can't understand why. And just to hear the Deputy Premier there having a pot in the palmer and thanking every Victorian, they're still discriminating against more than at least 10% of Victorians. Many that work across a whole range of small businesses aren't allowed to go to work. Those business owners, if they actually have those people come to work, are going to face potentially $10,000 plus fines if they haven't followed the rules. The state of Victoria, is where the ultimate rulers are, and rulers love rules. The more powerful the ruler, the more rules that are incongruous, inconsistent. And then, of course, there's the enforcement. And this is the state where we have the Premier, the Professor, we have the Commander, we have the police wearing their black outfits, we have police tanks on the streets, we have machine guns firing pepper bullets, and now we have another group of enforcers. We're told they're going to be paid almost $50 an hour, and some hospitality businesses are saying they can't get their staff back because they're going to be able to get $45 to work for the government, going into businesses and saying, show us your vaccination certificate, and having both the individual customer being in trouble and up for potentially $1,000+ on the spot, and the business owner up for $10,000 plus on the spot.
They just can't get it. Look, all the governments in this country have just gone power crazy, but the Victorian government in particular just can't help being overzealous, draconian, authoritarian. Now, this rule, though, that limits indoor customers to just 20 people, I know at least of some bars, they're just not going to open. Bars and restaurants can't open. You can't employ 5 or 6 people to open to serve only 20 people.
That's right, Chris. And the other part of this is it's another sort of example of the demonstration of the lack of any empathy and understanding amongst the rulers and the bureaucrats around what's involved in actually operating a business, what the expenses are. We have small business families that paid the greatest financial, economic cost. The politicians have never been in it with us together. They've got pay rises. They've been getting working from home allowances. There's been inadequate compensation. Victoria, the world's poorest level of any financial support to the smallest percentage of small businesses. So it's coming out of people's pockets. They're selling their homes in some cases, out of their superannuation, out of their savings. And to open up with those crazy small numbers, it means you just keep losing money, even if you can get the staff to come back, if they can now go over and work in this new enforcement brigade and make good money asking people to see their vaccination certificates.
Yeah, great work that would be, but you got to take what you can get, I suppose. Tell me quickly, how quickly can Victoria get to the next stage? Do you have to wait to 80% double vaccination, or do you think that they could perhaps have some more relaxations in the next week or so?
Well, look, we hope so, Chris, but we just don't know. We can't take them at their word. They keep sort of quoting the national plan, but now they're targeting 90%. We can't trust a word that they say. And look, what we'd love to see, we'd like to see the Prime Minister and the head of the National Labor Party get into Parliament, pass some legislation that says the national plan must be implemented, otherwise there are financial consequences to the states. It's about time this country got led on a bipartisan way to give small business families the best chances of getting their lives going again.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.